I remember watching an interview with John and Tyson together, and John Fury was sort of hyping AJ up, and Tyson was saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" kind of thing.
Pro boxing fans here in Riyadh with none other than Sahni holding a hype energy drink in his hand.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even realise I was holding that from the company that was sponsoring me. But yeah, no, good to see you. And how are you? All right?
I'm all right. We've just finished the grand arrivals. It was good. You know, I saw Francis Ngannou looking like Eddie Hearn, saying the big lump that he is. Mate, he's a physical specimen. He's a big geezer, man.
He's an absolute giant, and every time I get near him I feel like he gets bigger and bigger. Either that or I'm getting smaller and smaller. I've never seen Eddie Hearn look so nervous, by the way. He's doing an interview over there. He was nervous. I mean, there's so much jeopardy for Anthony Joshua in this fight, and Ngannou's just a monster. He's going to weigh about 20 pounds more than AJ, and it's not like an Andy Ruiz 20 pounds like heavier. This is like the geezer's going to have a six-pack. He's in unreal shape. He's a real monster.
Let's talk about this fight. Looking at what Ngannou brought to the last fight, I want to ask you: is he still questions on what he can produce, or can he be a force in this division?
I feel like he can, but they're still unknown, right? I know we've got that 10 rounds against Tyson Fury, but then what Tyson Fury did we get? We don't really know. Did Tyson Fury box to the best of his ability? Did he use the right game plan? Was it the wrong thing to do to try and push him down and things like that? Should he have just boxed and moved and made Ngannou look ordinary? Maybe he could have done that. Maybe that's what AJ is going to do on Friday night. Maybe he'll just get on his bike, stick and move, and maybe even stop him late. I don't know. I can't quite figure out how good Ngannou is at boxing, but I think he's better than everyone expected. He switched. He showed patience. I just feel like it's a different fight against AJ. I don't know how he's going to approach it, but he showed us a lot that first time.
Do you want to talk about AJ this time? We see that he's happier. We saw last time you actually made viral at that point on the Grand Arrivals last time. He's got a smile on his face. They are laughing, having a laugh with his team. And happy AJ does seem to be a more dangerous AJ. Do you reckon that is the case now? We're seeing a happy AJ with the right people around, that he feels are the right people around him in regards to his training, that we're going to get a very dangerous AJ going forward?
I think so. I think heading into that Day of Reckoning fight, you could almost see the weight of the world on his shoulders. There was a lot going on. There was Deontay Wilder on the same card. All these guys. There was talk of him and Wilder. Wilder could have put on an explosive performance. There was just a lot for AJ. But he was the one who came away with it, with a devastating performance, with his stock higher than it's been for a long, long time. And I think he took away some of that pressure. And now he does seem cool. He does seem happy. He seemed happy enough to talk to me as well. So, look, it's great. And I'm enjoying this version of AJ. It was great to see the interaction with John Fury yesterday as well. What a wonderful moment that was. And a happy fighter, as they say, is a dangerous fighter. And this looks like a dangerous Anthony Joshua.
Talk to me about that little interaction that John Fury. Listen, I spoke to Frank as well. Asked him, and he said, "We're in the season of goodwill. You know, we've got to get on with each other." It was just good to see, because it could have easily just backfired and we could have got John Fury with his top off, swearing at AJ, but we didn't. We got to see mutual respect between two people in boxing. Good to see, right?
Yeah, look, I think John Fury has actually always spoken very well about AJ. I remember watching an interview with John and Tyson together, and John Fury was sort of hyping AJ up, and Tyson was saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" kind of thing. So he's always spoken well of him. I think you take people as you find them. When John met AJ came with nothing but respect. When AJ met John came with nothing but respect. So take people as you find them. And a very, very nice interaction. It went viral. And I do wonder if Tyson and Anthony Joshua do ever fight, which hopefully they do, how's that all going to work? It's going to be great fun.
It is, and hopefully we get to see them fights out here, which, I know Turki Ali Sheikh wants to make these big fights, and if anyone's going to make the big fights, it's going to be him in Saudi Arabia. Talk to me about Tyson Fury. We saw he did his first interview after a long time. Seems to be in a happy place. That cut seems to be okay from what he's saying. Everything seems to be fine. Do you feel like this fight going into May 18th, that he's got enough time to get his camp back up and running and possibly have the best Tyson Fury for probably the best Alexander Usyk.
Well, look, if he thinks so, and Frank thinks so, and his trainers all think so, then yeah, I mean, absolutely. Look, this whole injury was blown way out of proportion. This sort of thing happens all the time in boxing. Fights get scheduled, sometimes fighters get injured, sometimes fights get postponed, and that's what's happened here. It got rescheduled within like 48 hours, and we go again. All roads lead to May 18th. The undisputed fight is happening, and Tyson Fury seems to be taking this very, very seriously. There are training videos going up. You saw the shape he was in when he had to pull out. He's in a good place. He looks ready to go, and I know Usyk's always going to come ready and come prepared. I think we're going to see the best version of both guys.
I should have actually introduced you in this interview as David, because obviously Zhilei Zhang, who was there earlier on, refers to you as David. I do want to talk about that fight. Zhilei Zhang, Joseph Parker, what a fight, man. For it to be like a co-main fight, what a fight. What happens in that fight?
What happens? It's one that I'm not really sure. On Zhilei Zhang, I love him. I've been able to work with him. Obviously met him last year around the Joe Joyce fights, the two Joyce fights. The sort of broken English, fierce translations as well from Kurt Lee are amazing. He says some great things. He said he's going to bang Joe Parker. Joe Parker has threatened to be explosive Joseph. These are all the ingredients for a great, great fight. But I like the guy a lot. He's calling me David. He's called me Devin in the past. He can call me whatever he likes. I will not be disputing any of it. He's the Big Bang. And look, honestly, on Joe Parker as well, I mean, that resume. I mean, talk about it. People talk about win or loss resumes. On his resume, Anthony Joshua, okay, he lost that fight, but he's on his resume. Deontay Wilder, Andy Ruiz, former unified world heavyweight champion. Dillian White's on there. Joe Joyce is on there. He's boxed everyone.
I think the only reason why he hasn't fought Tyson Fury is because they're friends.
They're friends. Look, and even then, look, they'd probably still fight if it came down to it. But look, he's on an amazing run. He's been very, very active. I was speaking to like Matt Macklin, Johnny Nelson up there, both talking about activity was so key and probably led to him beating Deontay Wilder. How active he's been. Big Bang Zhang is a whole different problem. 6'6", southpaw, fast, heavy, dangerous hands. And he brings Chinese power. There's not many heavyweights, if any, like him.
A final before I let you go, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Just talk to me about this one. But
what's going on? What is going on?
Yeah, I want to ask you. Look, we can talk about boxing and whatever else, but it seems that maybe Ryan's maybe not in a good place, possibly, or maybe he's trolling. Devin's saying maybe he's trolling. We don't know what's going on. But I want to ask you, if Ryan is in a bad place, do we need to just pull this fight and let him just sort of, get to a place where it's not boxing?
I mean, someone needs to get around him, right? So I would hope that people from his management and promotional team are checking on him. I've seen the posts; they look weird, right? And the stuff that his fiance or his ex-fiance was putting up, I don't like it. I would like it to stop. In terms of the fight being pulled, look, it all just depends how real this stuff is. But we need to find out, really. Even at the second press conference, I don't know, it didn't quite seem right. But look, I don't know the guy. He might just be joking. He might just be having a laugh. So I think talks about pulling the fight are quite premature. You need to hear from the people close to him, and we need to find out, really.
Cool. I think we'll pull the plug on this interview because I think we've actually got to go into the shuttle bus. So, Dev Sahni, sign me out.
Just drink hype. No, but also, obviously, watch this show, March 8th, Friday night, Knockout Chaos, KO Chaos in the Kingdom. Can't wait. Make sure you tune in.